Join us now for part 2 of Auli Parvanian for mayor. Not inclusive. What do you mean by that?
I think we need more meaningful community participation. We have a lot of resources in our community. There's a lot of residents that are here that have enormous amount of expertise in a wide variety of areas. And they are somewhat silent right now. We haven't really actively gone out to allow them to participate in a meaningful way. And I think we need to provide that. Mm-hmm. I think that...
In what way? Because I know that the last council has done a number of town hall meetings, etc., with the idea of engaging community members. And typically, I attended most of them. Typically, they started out being fairly well attended and then slipped off. The last one I went to, there was 12 people in the room. So I agree with you. I think we need to engage our community, but I'm wondering, how do you do that?
I think we need to use a variety of media. I think our issue is that we haven't moved with the times. Local governments are notoriously, it's not unique to Squamish, they're notoriously slow to react. The bureaucracies, same thing with any level of government. So I think we need to embrace some of the new ways of communicating. And people are busy. They have lives. They're spending a lot of time commuting. They have children, they have a variety of other priorities. So we need to provide an easy way for people to engage. We also need...
Such as
social media is one. Being able to provide feedback or an easy way could be an online access. And I'm not saying that we should be foregoing all old methods, not at all. But I think we need to add a lot of new things in order to be able to get the whole community involved. I think what you see, some of the downtown charrettes, for instance, oceanfront charrettes, they attracted hundreds of people. So there's obviously some issues, and if you talk to enough people who've been part of it, why is our participation level reducing? Is it because people aren't feeling like they're being heard? Is it the feeling that, anything that you say, it's kind of shelved. You're saying something and there's a town hall meeting and perhaps you feel like you're there for a reason and you're making a contribution, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really get meaningfully incorporated in what we're doing. And I think that's what we need to change.
Absolutely. And I think it would be a difficult thing, though, for a mayor or a council and I mean, I don't have the solutions. I don't, which is why I'm actually not running. And so, I admire all of you who have a better idea or think that you're going to get there. And I hope you do. I hope one of you do. I hope one of you are successful and we get there as a community. I sincerely do. But I do think, in any given group rooms situation, you're going to have a variety of opinions. Say there's 10 people and you have 6 different opinions and 4 are silent. You can only act on one of those decisions. I think it's easy to sit on the outside and think how it could be done. When you're on the inside and you're doing it, I think that there's that challenge of actually which decision is the right one. How do you, if the 6 are very varied, how do you come to one, or do you make a decision and move forward? Can you speak to that?
I'm so glad you asked that question, because one of the things that I'm a strong proponent of, and I think is a first thing we need to change, is our operating culture at the district. We really need to start looking at how, my feeling is that we've created very much silos that are not working together. So there has been
within the district of Squamish?
Within the district of Squamish, but I think it gets reflected on a wider part of the community as well. And I think that's definitely an operating culture thing, and shifting that is very important.
Do you think it's a government culture, or do you think it's district of Squamish?
Well, I think it's specifically to do with Squamish as a district right now. And I think that's just an approach. My approach is one of collaboration and inclusivity, and including a wide variety of opinion, and understanding that we all have to arrive at the table and the negotiation table and figure out that we can all walk away a winner. No one's going to get it all, but we can come to some conclusions because we all have a very strong love and passion for our community. So as a community, sometimes we disagree. Sometimes we sometimes we disagree on the execution. But for the most part, yes, that can be problematic. Yeah. But I think it is the job of the mayor and the council to provide the leadership for that. And my anticipation is, and what I've seen from most of the council candidates as well, is that they prepared to acknowledge that we have to work as a team in order to move forward and take action. And taking action is very important. We cannot get mired into an extended conversation. There has to be a way for us all to commit to that. Okay, here are the issues. Let's stick with the facts. Let's get the community involved. The community vision is this. Now how are we going to get there? Corporations, huge, enormous corporations do that on a daily basis. Many organizations do that on a daily basis. So we can do that.
I think we can, and I hope we do. At a corporation, it's different because when you're working in a business in your own, wedding planning or event planning, you have a bottom line and you have an exact objective. In a community, I think it's a little different, and I think that's where it becomes, because it's not about cost necessarily. We will spend more on something that's important to us, and that might not be you might not be able to justify it. Why would we spend that kind of money on trails when we don't get an economic generation from it? Or why would we spend that money on? So we do things because we love our community. We do them. So it's a little different than just that corporate culture. I think it is different. And I think working collaboratively is great. I'm just wondering if there's any, how are you going to do that? Because it's going to be a challenge. And how do you think it's really effectively going to happen?
Well, first of all, when I say that it's like any business or organization, I'm talking about large organizations as well, nonprofits. It has nothing to do with the aspect of money, actually. It has to do with what our goals are. So objectives. What are those? What is it that the community wants? What is it that we want to see for our future? And are we committed? And the constant reminder that those are our objectives. So some people can periodically be very obstructionist in that way. They get stuck with an issue that may not be reflective at all what the majority of the community wants. And again, going back to it, you're not going to get everything that you're looking for individually. It has to be a blend of what benefits the whole community. And you're absolutely right. That's what we're talking about. Is those soft values and what is a priority for us. In fact, right now, trail development is a very good example that you're bringing up, because that is exactly what's happening there. We're not looking at it as infrastructure and what is the actual perceived value of that. So it is considered as a cost right now. So you put $100,000 towards trail development. It's a very difficult thing because it's very difficult to quantify the value that it brings to our community in the form of people wanting to live here, move here, livability of our community. Does it attract more business because we can provide the kind of environment that people want to be in? It attracts people that are skilled, very diverse. Those are the kind of things that we absolutely have to look at. So is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. Do I think that I have the skill set and the background for it? Absolutely yes. It's simply because I have already worked with so many competing priorities and, in fact, sometimes very, very challenging situations where you have to make something happen very quickly and decisively, and you have to bring a wide variety of opinion together. So there are some skills in that regard, and I think your approach means a lot. Are you open to that feedback? Are you open to understanding that you don't have the answers?
Are you open to that feedback?
Absolutely, and that is demonstrated by my signage. My whole signage is about, you tell me, this is not about Auli's vision for Squamish. This is about Squamish vision for Squamish. Our whole community is part of that. So I'm not coming to the table and saying, this is what we have to do and we have to be. It would be wrong of me to do that. And I think that is the one enormous skill that I bring to the table is being able to listen diversity of people.
Excellent. Well, I want to thank you for your time today, Auli, and you are you're diverse from the other two, I think, being female and they're male, and you are fresh, you're open, you're articulate. So it'll be interesting to see how you move forward. I wish you the best of luck, and thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for staying for part 2 of Auli Parvalian for mayor, and join us for the other 2 mayoral candidates right here.